um, and it began over in Collier and began to move over now. We're not quite sure of the mile marker, but we do know we've crossed into West Broward County here at this point where now the vehicle has stopped, and presumably we're going to see the Collier County SO at some point.
Stop for a moment, and now it's on the move again.
You know, we really couldn't
white
see
Nissan, by the way.
We really couldn't see with that picture, both Belkis and Craig, but Collier County sheriffs are following this driver. We couldn't really pan out there, but the car did pull over for a few seconds. Maybe they're keeping at a safe distance, and now it seems like the driver of this white sedan seems to be going the speed limit.
As always in these situations, BSO or Collier County, all law enforcement, they try to obviously take other drivers into consideration, don't want to be on top of the car being chased too much because they've got to maintain the road safe for all of the other drivers that are out there at this hour. And
there'll be a few agencies involved. Obviously, this initiated in Collier County, so you'll have Collier SO, BSO, and the Highway Patrol, because the FHP, there, if you've made that trip across the alley, as I have any number of times, the FHP is the one that's going to be out there. So it's safe to expect we'll see Broward helping out Collier. Well, now that it's in Broward County, it'll be a Broward County situation as well, and the Highway Patrol as they work to get this car full of, I think we said 3 people, to stop.
Again, 3 people who got pulled over, according to our affiliate on the west coast of Florida, for a tinted window violation. Which means what? Maybe the tinted windows may be too dark over what is the legal shade that you can have in a car, and they got pulled over and then took off, and this is where we are now.
And you got to wonder, Belkis and Craig, again, it does appear that this car has slowed down significantly, is now going the speed limit. Collier County sheriffs are not right behind this driver, and you got to wonder if maybe the driver and the people inside are thinking, you know what, we're in the clear, we're just going to pretend none of this happened. And you always wonder when we see police chases if they don't hear the helicopter, don't realize that all eyes are actually on them.
They have few options too, because I think, and this would be on the westbound side, there's that gas station rest area for folks who are making the trip across over to Naples or Fort Myers. But heading back, there are a couple of rest areas where you can stop with picnic tables and look at restrooms, that kind of thing. But there's not much in the way for them to go unless they were to take their chances and pull over and run into the greenery there, the brush and whatnot. So,
and there's a canal down the embankment there, so that would mean some swimming involved too, in case they jump out and bail. And
maybe not a good idea because we call it Alligator Alley for a reason.
True, good point.
So
good point.
It's the sort of situation where they can keep on trucking as, again, they're heading eastbound at this point in time until they get into the thickly settled areas of West Broward County. Now, like you said, once you get past the toll plaza, it's not too long before you start getting into Weston and some of those communities where it's a lot busier and a lot more traffic.
Afternoon rush, and at this point, you have to wonder, are Weston police now on alert as well at the toll plaza? Are they aware? Or will they be throwing down some of those spike strips that sometimes they try to do to blow out tires and such? What's the plan here? Right now, it's just follow the car and do it safely.
Go ahead, Frank. Well, like you said, Belkis and Craig, typically the agencies do work together and they do come up with some sort of plan. Before we started this a few seconds ago, well, actually 12 minutes ago, this car was just hauling throughout Collier County. When they entered Broward County, this driver seemed to slow down significantly, as you just saw a few minutes ago, pulled over on the shoulder for maybe 10 seconds and then took off at a relatively, what seems like a very safe speed. So again, maybe they're thinking that, you know what, we lost police and nobody's chasing us and we're just going to enter Broward County and pretend none of this happened.
Just trying to look up here, it looks as though they tried to make this stop around about mile marker 94 on the alley, and I'm just trying to get a fix where that was, and given they've been able to go for 10 minutes, how much closer they are to the toll plaza, just to get an idea of how...
Well, you used to work in that part of Florida, Craig, so you've had friends there, you visit, you're on the alley back and forth a couple times a year.
If not more, yes.
Yeah, so what you mentioned makes perfect sense, that this is slow now, but down the road, it's going to get congested as you get into
So-
further into Broward.
I have some new information. Maybe one of the reasons why this driver has slowed down, because they pulled over and saw nobody was behind them, and now they're going at, seems like, a safe speed. Collier County Sheriff says they are no longer pursuing this vehicle. They're going to wait to see what happens when they get to that toll plaza. So it may be a safety issue. You know, the toll plaza is busy. It is 5 o'clock rush hour. So again, Collier County Sheriff's no longer pursuing, waiting until they actually get to, actually I'm getting word now that the Sheriff's Department there in Collier County called it off officially. So this car is no longer being chased. Was initially they tried to pull them over, as you said, Belkis and Craig, for tinted windows that were overly tinted perhaps, when they just took off on Alligator Alley at a very, very high rate of speed, pulled over, maybe looked behind them and saw that there was no Sheriff's Department following them, and now they're proceeding there into Broward County at a safe speed, and probably doesn't even realize they're on Channel 7 News Live.
Okay, well, I'm curious. That's a first.
Yeah, right. A chase called off. In all the years doing this, that never happens.
And I'm curious about the thinking, because if memory serves, when you head on the alley from our coast, you stop to pay the toll when you're heading eastbound, and then when you get to the West Coast, you just cruise on through, and it's the inverse when you come back. When you are in Naples, you stop to pay the toll there. When you get to the toll plaza here, they've eliminated the need to stop, so you just go right through.
Right.
So
everyone's got SunPass now.
I don't know what the toll plaza is going to mean unless there's a traffic backup and the car has to stop then. So, yeah, I'm kind of not sure what the thinking is there.
They're
but
pulling over completely on the left side of the shoulder of the road.
Pulled over again.
if you're just joining us, this is the news at 5 o'clock, and we are hanging with this. This is a chase that began about 15, 20 minutes ago, maybe within that window, from over in Collier County on the west coast, and has proceeded now past the county line, now in West Broward. And it's 3 people in a car. We're told by authorities they wanted to stop it because of an illegal tint. When they proceeded to try to make that stop, the car took off, and it's been going ever since. But as Lynn told us a second ago, authorities have called off the pursuit, and now the car's pulled over, and here we are.
Oh, and now it looks like FHP is pulled up behind the vehicle, so we'll see what happens.
I guess perhaps it's, maybe this is more of a, and our good friend Ralph Rayburn would answer this if he were here with us, more of a procedural thing. Collier County called it off because now it's FHP's problem.
Oh, okay, because now it's a state road, highway. Yeah, that does make sense. Well, there's, from what we understand, from what we were told by our affiliates over in the Naples market, there's 3 people inside the car. The car is pulled over, but no one has stepped out of the vehicle.
But you can see his gun
But now
is
the
drawn,
FHP
Bill.
trooper
You can see
looks
the trooper
to be stepping
approaching.
up, gun drawn, which you would imagine is probably the way to go.
And you can see others have arrived there now as backup with the trooper there.
If you look closely in the back of the car as these troopers approach, guys, you can see one of the passengers has a hand out the window. If we can remove the words there or pan down a little bit. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Now
And
we
it
can
looks
see
like
it.
the windows are down, hands are out. Tense situation really for everybody. It's got to be.
And as they get them out of the car,
Okay,
and
looks
this
like everyone's surrendering peacefully.
hopefully ends, as you say, peacefully once they get everybody out of the car. And
I'm sure they're asking, why didn't you stop when we just wanted to talk about your tinted windows? Who knows what this investigation will lead to, but they're all over this car. And the good news is it does appear that this is ending peacefully. Nobody got hurt. No drivers on the road were injured.
And you know, when you have 3 people in a car, you've got 1 driver. You're the driver. I'm in the car as a passenger. The whole way I might be saying, dude, what are you doing? You need to pull over. You need to pull over. So you just never know what's happening inside that vehicle. You know, the driver's got a mind of his own, and the other passengers may have nothing to do with whatever's in that driver's head. So
who knows?
Who knows?
That's
but
the investigation.
the questions will be answered now, right?
And you know, I think the thing that we all think of, especially when you sit at this desk and the news of the day in recent times, there's always that concern, how will this resolve itself? So it's good to see that it ended peacefully with these people now off the road and about to be taken into custody. No other drivers, as far as we know or can tell, because this started over in Collier and we didn't catch it at the beginning. But as far as we know, no other motorists were affected or impacted.
Didn't look
by
like
this.
there was any crashes or bumps or bruises along the way. And from what we understand, there's actually 4 people in the car. We had said 3 earlier. 4 people in the car, and FHP is conducting the traffic stop. We've got some unmarked vehicles out there as well.
And now this may explain why Collier County called off their end of the search. You know, as we said, these jurisdictions work together and coordinate efforts.